The Hawaii wildfires are now the deadliest in modern U.S. history. Since 100 years ago, have we not seen anything like this? Crews are still struggling to put out the fires. There are some hot spots and areas that they're struggling with, like I said. In Maui, more than 90 people are confirmed dead. But with thousands still missing, that number is expected to grow. The president was asked about the tragedy while spending time relaxing in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, over the weekend. Here's President Biden.
Mr. President, any comments on the rising death toll in Maui?
Will you come talk about the Hawaii response, Mr. President?
No, he said. As of now, neither he nor the vice president have a Maui trip on their schedule. And here's Vice President Kamala Harris's explanation for that.
We're monitoring it. You know, we want to, obviously, as with most of these kinds of situations, do whatever is in the best interest of the folks on the ground, and we don't want to distract from the resources that need to go into the victims of this tragedy, and of course the need that the first responders have to be able to focus on that issue and not worry about focusing on us if we're there.
I understand not wanting to be part of the problem, especially when you're the czar for the border, and you certainly haven't helped. So I don't know what she would add. But Griff, let me ask you this. Your bully pulpit always brings a lot to the flavor of things, right? Why not pray for those people? Why not say, I've talked with head, of FEMA and the Coast Guard and so on, and I'm on it, and the first window will touch down.
Yeah, a leader shows up and takes charge. And I was working this weekend, and when I saw no comment, I was stunned, Harris, because I thought, did he not hear the question? Or does he actually not know what's happening? Because the Red Cross marshaled forces right away, local leaders. Heck, our own Will Cain got on a plane and went down there, and he has personal history in Lahaina.
His mom is
good
there.
on him to do so. But this is the deadliest wildfire in 100 years, and you're nowhere to be seen. You're not in charge. Look, going back to George W. Bush years, good job, Browning. We saw what happened in Katrina. We saw the lack of when a leader stands up and takes control. And to the fairness to the Bush administration, they didn't started to get it right and work with the politicians on the ground. But this is unbelievable. And, you were interviewing someone in the last hour about
the commander of the Coast Guard.
The concern of the people that had to run in the water. This isn't a done deal. There could
Did you catch what she said?
I did.
Of the 1,000 people who were missing, many of them are in the water and may never be found. We didn't have that detail.
So you could be having active rescue operations still going on in addition to the support they're going to need right now with so many people with nowhere to go.
Kaylee, I thought of something else, too. He was vice president for 8 years in the White House with a man who was born in Hawaii, Barack Obama. I mean, how do you have nothing to say? You know how close the Obamas are to there. You wouldn't even have anything to say for people that you know on the island?
Right. It is incomprehensible to me. I mean, maybe he didn't have his note cards with him, right? This is very simple. My heart goes out to the people of Maui. I will do everything I possibly can as your commander-in-chief to marshal the resources of the federal government to be at your disposal. It's an easy response. I mean, anyone could come up with that response, but he can't. I'm so tired of hearing about him as Mr. Empathy because time and time again, we're hit in the face with the fact that he doesn't care. Remember that mom who poured her soul out to Congress about her 2 sons that died of a fentanyl overdose, and he laughed callously when asked about whether it was under his administration or the Trump administration. I mean, East Palestine, his lack of empathy there. Afghanistan, last week we just heard Gold Star parents talk about how he had no empathy for them, how as he checked his watch at the dignified transfer, this guy has no empathy. He's heartless, he's callous, and we can't keep being hit by facts and just turn our head the other way.
All right. Before I come to you, Emily and Lisa, I want to hit the headlines. You said it so well. So
yeah, you really
here
did.
are the empathy headlines for... Can we go to the Trump ones first? Because I want to show the Trump ones first so that people can see this. So 2017 to 19, across former President Trump's presidency, here are the headlines. Lost weekend. How Trump's time at his golf course club hurt the response to Hurricane Maria. Trump once again spends the day at his Virginia golf course as Florida braces for a catastrophic hurricane. Trump said he skipped a diplomatic trip to monitor Hurricane Dorian, then he spent the weekend golfing. Why Trump golfing during Hurricane Dorian is a problem. And then now let's go to the ones with Biden. Okay, so you see why I did it that way, so we get the total picture. In 2020, Time magazine, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the importance of empathy when it comes when America needs it most. CNN, empathy matters. Joe Biden's endorsers highlight the same trait. The Atlantic, Biden's empathy is what matches him to this moment. Forbes, how empathy defines Joe Biden. New York Times, Joe Biden and the decency agenda. Emily.
The decency agenda. That's such drivel, those headlines. They don't know this man. And they certainly don't know that the man that has been created around him is simply a prop. So let me point this out. 5 days ago on August 9th, Joe Biden released this on the whitehouse.gov website. Jill and I send our deepest condolences to the families of those who lost loved ones in the wildfires in Maui. Our prayers are with those who have seen their homes, businesses, and communities destroyed. We are grateful to the brave firefighters and first responders who continue to run toward danger, putting themselves in harm's way to save lives. Clearly, he did not write that, and here's why. Because when asked off the cuff during his Rehoboth Beach vacation, do you have a statement? Why didn't he say, absolutely, I echo what I put out before. We are praying mightily, and we support our Americans there on devastated Maui. Because he didn't write it. It reminded me of when we covered Neo, whose publicist typed up an apology, and then Neo got on Instagram and was like, I didn't write that. Let me tell you how I feel. It's the opposite here. Where any notions of empathy being written, any great grand statements, believe me, Joe Biden is not writing them. And final point, remember when California, my home state, was burning in 2020 and 21? He had the decency, I guess, or maybe just the time, or maybe the distraction, per Kamala, to fly to California. He walked the ruins. He commented on how it was climate change. He had a lot of words then for Californians, but now silence for those Hawaiians.
Yeah, real quickly, Lisa, I want to go back through those headlines, though, because there seems to be a complicit nature about this liberal and legacy media seeing former President Trump one way and then just completely, I don't know, fantasy-filled about Biden having some empathy?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of gets back to this point of living in two different Americas. I mean, there's different standards that are applied to Republicans or to Democrats, and that, you know, people in Washington, D.C. are supposed to represent us. They're supposed to serve us, and they work against us, to the point of Oliver Anthony's song, and then lack empathy when things like this happen. But you had mentioned the Gold Star families. I have an interview. I don't normally tout my own stuff. My podcast, The Truth with Lisa
please
Boot,
tout.
with Cheryl Rex, who's a Gold Star mom. Her son, Marine Lance Corporal Dylan Marola, who was killed 20 years old, only in Afghanistan for less than 2 weeks. And Joe Biden sat there and lied to her as they were waiting for the dignified transfer. He said that his son had also came home in a American flag draped coffin when he died of cancer, and she knew it was a lie. He didn't provide empathy for her. He didn't try to console her. There was no apology for getting her son killed. Just a lie.
Wait a minute. He said that Bo came home like that?
Yes, and it was a lie, obviously, and she knew it was a lie. So she sat there waiting for a dignified transfer of her son, knowing that the President of the United States, who just got her son killed, lied to her. And then proceeded to check his watch during the ceremony, as Kaylee had
Where
pointed
else
out.
did he have to be?
It's disgusting.
Nothing more important than being right there.
After you get these young people killed.
Well, believe people when they show you who they are.
Yep.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.